When they say that Don has an intelligent guy next door sensibility, it's only half true. See, he's very intelligent. But to say that he's the guy next door is an understatement. To me and anybody else you might ask that knows him, he's more like family. He's not next door, he's in your house. Anyone who's... Don taught high school in the Delaware Valley, receiving widespread media coverage for his innovative teaching and motivational techniques with his students until 1987, when he began his career as a radio talk show host. Throughout Don's career as talk show host, he has always kept an open mind, an open mic, and open ears. Now I ask you to open your ears for him. Please give a warm welcome to the voice of Philly, Mr. Dom Giordano.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks so much, Chris. Thank you. I have to go back and put that up on my website. It's better than what we have there right now. It's a pleasure to be here today. Particularly, I talked with Don Adams. I didn't talk with Terry as much. I know they're a great duo. Nice round of applause for the organization that goes into this. And one of the things that we talked about today is coming together on a great day, the bonding, the families, the signs, which I'm taking notes on, and I'm going to talk about some of them on the air that are very creative. But taking this movement, and that's what it is, past the initial movement, which was coming together to express outrage at all the things that have gone on. But in addition to that, to now get down to the hard work, what I'd like to call today life, liberty, and the ability to speak to your doctor without Rahm Emanuel or his brother getting in the way. This battle on healthcare is beyond Armageddon to me. It is beyond anything that we've seen. And I sat in for Lou Dobbs the other day, and I sat in New York, and I did my own show too, by the way. And there, one of the things we talked about with an audience, and I'm trying to get it out there, maybe Tom Rice will start this in the bulletin too, and Herb Denenberg, who I greatly admire, is the notion that it's not going to be enough to fight healthcare on the facts, on the issues. Obviously, anybody with half a brain does not want protocols and bean counters and people in Washington telling us what kind of choices we're going to make, rationing healthcare, sitting there on ABC News with Charlie Gibson, who I used to admire but was a disgrace, and talking about the end of life and how we'll figure out what we're going to ration for senior citizens, many of whom are members of the greatest generation. Not in the America that we want, not in the America that we support. What I proposed, and I've tried to get through to various people like Senator Santorum and others, trying to talk to them about, is the idea of having one of these town halls. You saw the town hall the other day. We're aware that the White House stacked it with people, union leaders, others with stories that break your heart, all true, anecdotal stories. We don't make public policy on who has more emotionality. What I've been proposing, and some people have taken a look at, you want to do that, let's bring in people from Canada and the UK. Let's bring on stage a guy from the UK who couldn't get experimental medicine until he went blind in one eye to prevent blindness in the other eye. Let America hear that story. Let America hear that's what Rahm Emanuel, his brother, the Obama administration, Walmart, and everyone else seems to be headed toward, so that they can get out from under what we ought to do with our healthcare system, which is to tweak it, to honestly move forward in ways that we know there are inefficiencies. So what I'm proposing is, I think we have to not just talk facts with people. We'll try to provide you with people and stories. I was sitting there next to Herb Denenberg, just thinking where we are right now in the center of Philadelphia. I bet within a 5-minute walk, there might be a dozen MRI units. Some of them might even be operational today. I believe they would be, even on a holiday. If we were standing in the middle of downtown Quebec, Montreal, I don't think we would find a dozen MRIs. I don't know if we'd find one unless we could run like Lance Armstrong across France. That might be the race to find an MRI. When Natasha Richardson died, there is significant evidence that she had to get to a fixed-wing airplane, let's say here at Philly International Airport, as opposed to having a meta helicopter evacuation land right here on the spot and take her out. The reason? In Montreal, they believed in cost cutting. They didn't think they wanted to pay for medical evacuation by helicopter. Now that, to me, is not a civilized city or a civilized society. That is as backward as we get. I bet we can go to small towns in America and they have medical evacuation. And that's where we're headed with healthcare. So I am greatly honored today to be here with you, to see what you're doing, to feel that spirit, and to know that the next stage of the Tea Party movement is the focusing on issues, pressure on those issues, to get our side out, to get our message out, both the facts and the emotion, I think, that hopefully will drive Americans toward the right conclusion on this, that we're not going to head down the road. If I had $1 for every doctor, dentist, and others that tell me they're not going to submit to this, they'd rather retire if they're in their 60s or mid-60s. This system cannot be changed in the way that we're talking about. This is bigger even than the stimulus. It's the issue of life, liberty, and your health, your kids' health. So I hope that out of the Tea Party movement, I know with Don and Chris, Terry, that we become focused on this major issue coming up. I know we will be at the Big Talker 1210. Thank you so much for having me today, and thanks for listening and being part of it. Thank you.